So I got a joke for you guys today. Superman is flying around Metropolis, right? And he's fucking looking around for trouble, of course, because he's Superman. He looks down, top of a roof, he sees Wonder Woman, just asshole naked, legs open, pussy out, whatever. So he's like, man, I wish I can go down there and just pipe her down. He's like, I'm Superman, I can fly down and fuck her and leave. So Superman flies down, takes off. Wonder Woman's like, what the fuck was that? The Invisible Man said, I don't know, but my ass hurts. Joke of the day. So, the little boy in school, right? He don't know his ABCs, and the teacher's like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? She says, here, take this piece of paper home, ask your parents to help you out, and tomorrow bring it in. You know what I'm saying? Learn your alphabet. So he goes home, and his mom and dad are fighting, right? So they're going back and forth, and he's like, Mom, what's the first letter of the alphabet? But she's already mad at the dad. She's like, asshole. So he writes asshole. And then he's like, Dad, what's the second letter of the alphabet? And he's yelling at the mom. He's like, bitch. So he writes bitch. You know what I'm saying? So he's sitting there watching his favorite cartoon, and it comes on, and it's like, Superman. So he writes Superman. You know what I'm saying? He goes back to school. Teacher says, did you get your alphabet or what? She's like, asshole. She said, what? He said, bitch. She said, who do you think you are? He said, Superman. Joke of the day. Guy walks into a bar, right? Starts drinking, getting messed up, you know what I'm saying? Gets real drunk. Goes up to the bartender, and he says, hey, man, I bet you $1,000 I can pee in that shot glass and not piss anywhere else. Bartender's like, all right. So he pulls his shit out. He's peeing on the floor, peeing on the walls, the roof, on the bartender, everywhere but that shot glass. So the bartender's like, shit, I just won $1,000. You know what I mean? So he's laughing his ass off. And the guy who made the bet is laughing too. Bartender looks at him and he says, hey, man, what are you laughing about? You just lost $1,000. He's like, yeah, I know. But I bet those guys over there $10,000 that you would be dumb enough to let me piss all over your bar. What's cracking, TikTokers? So, joke of the day. There's two guys in the bar, right? They're drinking, hanging out, bullshitting, you know what I'm saying? One of them looks at the other guy and he says, hey, man, I bet you I can jump off the roof onto the ground and then jump back up on the roof without getting hurt. And the guy's like, bullshit. He's like, let's go. You know what I'm saying? So they go up on the roof, and the guy's like, all right, are you ready for this shit? Are you ready? The guy's like, yeah, let's go. So the guy jumps off the roof, lands on the floor, and jumps back on. The guy's like, what the fuck? He's like, yeah, man, your turn. So the guy jumps off, dies, right on the ground. The other guy goes back downstairs, like, gets back to the bar table, whatever, and he's like, let me get another one, man. And the bartender's right there cleaning the glass, and he's like, damn, Superman, you're an asshole when you're drunk. These are jokes of the day. These are not my jokes, okay? Remember. What's up, guys? Joke of the day. So, there's this guy walking in the desert. Don't ask me why, but he is. You know what I'm saying? He's walking. He sees a little store. He walks up to the store, and he sees that they have donkeys, you know what I'm saying? So he says, hey, man, can I buy a donkey? And he's like, oh, we don't call them donkeys here. We call them asses. He said, all right, well, let me buy an ass. He said, okay, well, let me give you a little tip. If he stops walking, you got to rub his tummy, and he'll keep walking again. He says, all right. So he's riding his ass, you know what I'm saying? He's riding the ass. Sees another little store, goes up to it, and he sees that they're selling roosters, you know what I'm saying? He says, hey, man, can I buy a rooster? And he says, we don't call them roosters. We call them cocks. He says, okay, well, can I buy a cock? He says, here you go. So he's riding his ass. He's holding his cock, you know what I'm saying? And he's riding, and the donkey stops. And he's like, damn, man, he can't rub his tummy because he has the rooster in his hand, you know what I'm saying? So he doesn't want to let it go, and it's going to run away. So he's looking around, and he sees this girl. And he says, excuse me, ma'am, can you hold my cock while I rub my ass? What's up, TikTok? So, joke of the day. There's a leprechaun, right? Walks into a bar, jumps on the stool, and he tells the bartender, let me get a beer and a shot of whiskey. So he drinks the beer, and he downs the whiskey, right? Jumps on the table, runs all the way down to this biker guy, and he goes, whoo, right in his face. He runs back, and he gets a beer and a shot of whiskey. Drinks the beer, downs the whiskey. Jumps on the table again, runs all the way to the biker dude, and goes, whoo. He does that about 10 different times, right? The last time, he gets a beer and a shot of whiskey. Drinks the beer, downs the whiskey. Jumps on the table, runs all the way back down, whoop, 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 goes to the biker guy, and he goes, whoop. The biker guy grabs that motherfucker, and he says, hey, motherfucker, you do that again, I'm gonna rip your dick off. Leprechaun laughs, haha, silly man, leprechauns don't have dicks. And he's like, how do you pee? What's cracking, TikTok? Joke of the day. So there's two friends, right? And they're out in the desert, and they're shooting. So one of the friends gets bit, right? He gets bit by a fucking snake. Rattlesnake. And he's like, oh man, this fucking rattlesnake just bit me in my dick. And the friend's like, wait, just wait. I'll go get help. So the guy's laying there. He runs. He's running through the desert, and he sees this gas station, by a road. And he goes in there and he goes, hey, man, my friend just got bit by a snake. And the clerk's like, what kind of snake? He's like, a rattlesnake. He's like, oh, man. He's like, all right, well, just find the bite and you got to suck the venom out. And he's like, what? He's like, you got to suck the venom out. He's like, oh, all right. So he runs back, and his friend got bit in the dick, So he's like, man, he's right there bleeding and crying. He's like, what happened? What'd they tell you? The friend comes back, and right there, he's like, hey, man, he said you're going to die, eh? What's up, TikTok? Joke of the day. 3 guys walking in the forest, you know what I'm saying? They don't know where they're at. They're lost, so they come across his house. They knock at the door. Some hillbilly answers. Got a big old shotgun. He's like, what y'all want? He's like, hey, man, we don't know where we're going. We're lost. We need somewhere to stay for the next day so we can find our way home. He's like, all right, one rule. You can stay the night, but don't fuck my daughter. And they're like, shit, she's probably ugly as fuck. And then they see the daughter, and she's like, damn, booty like bam, titties like bam. So they go to sleep, right? So one of them sneaks out, and he's like, goes over there to try to fuck her. He steps on a piece of wood, and it's like, eh? And he's like, oh, shit. The dad's like, who goes there? Guy looks around, and sees a cat. He's like, meow. He's like, damn cat. He goes and fucks her. Goes over there. The next guy, he goes over there. He steps on the same wood. Eh. Guy looks around. Who goes there? Guy looks around and sees a cat. Meow. Then he goes, fucks her. The last guy, he goes and he's walking, same fucking board. Eh. The guy, who goes there? He looks around. He sees the cat and he goes, it's a cat. Bam. What's up, TikTok? Joke of the day. But before I get into that, I don't make up these jokes. They're not my jokes. I was told these jokes, and now I'm telling them. Okay, now onto the joke. So, there's a husband and a wife, right? They're in their bed. They're about to get frisky. Before it happens, the husband turns over to turn the lights off. And she's like, babe, why do you do that? He's like, what do you mean? She's like, why do you turn the lights off? Every time, why do you turn the lights off? Like, am I not good enough for you? Do you not want to see me? He's like, no, it's not that. She's like, then what is it? He's like, you know what? I think it's finally time I tell you. I don't have a penis. And she said, what? He says, yeah, I was born without a penis, so I use a fake one. That's why I turn the lights off, so you don't see the fake one that I use. And she says, oh my God, I cannot believe you've been lying to me this whole time. You need to explain why. He says, bitch, you need to explain the 5 kids. What's up? Joke of the day. So, there's a special ed kid, and his mom is walking him to the bus stop. You know what I'm saying? So she's like, okay, Timmy, you're going to stay here. Once the bus comes, you're going to get on, you're going to go to school. So you have a good day. So she leaves. The little boy's waiting. The bus driver shows up, opens the doors. You know what I'm saying? And the little boy, Timmy, looks at the bus driver and he says, good morning, bus driver. You here to take me to school today? Bus driver looks at him, closes the door, and leaves. He's like, so he walks home. And the mom's like, what happened? And he's like, I don't know. So the next day, she does the same thing. She leaves him and she goes home. Bus driver comes, opens the doors. He says, good morning, bus driver. You here to take me to school today? So the bus driver looks at him, closes the doors, and leaves. And the mom's like, what the fuck? So she's like, no, I'm going to wait tomorrow. So the next day, she goes, she leaves him, and she waits in the bushes. The bus driver comes. You know what I'm saying? Little boy, good morning, bus driver. You here to take me to school today? About to close the door. Before he closes, the mom gets in. She's like, excuse me, sir, what the fuck is your problem? Why do you keep leaving my son? And he's like, you keep making fun of me.